All right. Dirt Sociable is back. This episode, we got a guest with us. We have Michaela from Trackside.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Not much. Just another night in the podcast room. And
Sir, in the man cave.
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems like you kind of came onto the scene like strong about, year and a half, 2 years ago is when this venture started for you?
Yeah, last year actually. So I was introduced to off-road about 3 years ago. So I've been watching since 23. I grew up in Indianapolis, so I've always been a race fan, IndyCar, NASCAR. They were always in Indy's, pretty big out there. But I'd never heard of off-road before, which is super interesting because my grandpa and the Flannerys actually were in the same group of friends planning the track that went back into the woods.
Yeah.
So it's really been in my family forever, but I didn't even find out about it until 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I kind of, like you said, hit the ground running last year. I had been around it the first year. You see the crowd at Crandon, you're like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is the biggest event I've ever seen outside of IndyCar and NASCAR.
Yep.
Why don't more people know about this? So I kind of watched around, just enjoying myself in the off-road community, honestly. Like, my family's from Wisconsin, my mom's side, so this feels like home.
Yeah.
You're watching it. And about another season later, I really wanted to understand the sport before I jumped in. And I've got a background in marketing. I've got a business degree. So I thought I could help, but let me just make sure, because everybody in the pit complains about money. Nobody has money. We're not going to be able to go racing. I wish a sponsor would come on board to help pick up this product or help with this so we can offset funds for this. And we're never going to be able to race, and people are dropping out because there's not enough money in sponsorships, and it's an expensive sport.
Oh,
There's no other way around it. It's expensive. And so again, after watching a second season, I was like, okay, I think I can at least try to help. Like you said, I go head first into everything I do. There is no, we'll see and try a little bit if it works out. Like, no, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it the right way. It's got to make sure we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I watched a second season, and I'm like, okay, everybody needs help. So let me just put it out there. We'll see if anybody's interested in getting help. And it took off. My inbox was flooded. I'm like, okay, clearly this was needed. Let's just start small, a couple drivers, nothing too unmanageable. And then everybody else was like, can you help me with sponsorships? Can you help me with sponsorships? And that's where Trackside Marketing Agency was founded. Yeah. We had already had a couple of clients. We got a NASCAR client my first month after working with off-road guys.
Oh, wow.
Never could have seen that coming in my life. But here we are, a year in, and things just keep getting bigger and bigger every day.
Awesome. That's great to hear. That's good for you. That's good for the sport.
Yeah.
And that's good for the series. I mean, if drivers are more well funded, then the series is going to grow as well. So
absolutely.
It's good all around.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Like, just the growth of the sport to, get the drivers that type of assistance. And because you're right, when you're talking around the pits, that is one thing that always stood out. And I mean, I've been around racing my whole life for the most part, and any form of racing, it's part of the equation.
Yeah, absolutely. Money is a big factor.
Yeah, and having somebody either taking care of that for you or somebody on the team that's their job is really a big thing, because the race car driver is turning the wheel.
Yes,
the mechanics
exactly.
are turning the wrenches.
And you don't just get into the truck unprepared. You're practicing during the off season, you're testing during off weeks, you're working out. You've got families. You've got family. I don't know if you have a family. I have a family. Most people have other things to take care of. We're working full-time jobs to fund the racing program, or we're working a business of our own to fund the racing programs. Where do we find this extra time to run social media, to capture the social media, to think about the ideas, to reach out to sponsors and follow up with sponsors? And you can't.
Yeah.
Something's always getting left on the back burner. So that's, again, where we come in. And I think all of the drivers that I've talked to, and I invite them to reach out. Like, if you ever have a question about marketing, social media, sponsorships, my inbox is always open. Like, I'm not going to charge you for DMs. I will sit on calls for hours a day without charging anybody anything, just because I genuinely want to help.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Thanks.
So I know you talked about it, but how did you find your way into the off-road racing scene?
Yeah, so he actually introduced me. He's been around it forever. He's from Crandon. He grew up there. I think he's been going to off-road since he was 2 or 3 years old. But he's like, you got to check this out. And I had kind of heard about it a little bit. I think everybody that knows off-road, you say brush run, you kind of know what that is.
Yeah.
And again, my mom had raced some buggies before. And that's just, that's kind of where
Nice.
that's where my in came in. So again, my grandpa with the Flannery starting the track, never knew any of that. I didn't know my mom raced until I started working in it. But it was really just having him introduce me to the sport. Jay Schaefer last season took us under his wing and just kind of let us hang out at his pit. Again, that really gave us that close proximity access to really hear up close and personal the struggles that were going on. It wasn't just a sportsman's driver struggling with money. It's, these are pro drivers who are also struggling with funding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bigger bills, bigger trucks.
Oh, yeah. A lot bigger bills.
Everything.
Yeah.
Bigger headaches.
Yeah. Right. Then you got a team you got to bring in, and you break apart, that's $50,000. That's a year's worth of salary for most people.
Yeah. It's hard to wrap the whole idea around that. These trucks are, $300,000 and even sometimes more, depending on what the build is and how much technology they have shoved
Operating
in them.
costs, pit site expenses, entry fees, obviously fuel, gas, everything else that goes into it.
Oh yeah, we know all about that too. Even going to every single race on the season, like for us, it's like figuring that aspect out, the pits, like it all adds up.
Yeah, as a fan, how are you going to get the PTO? Right,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, as a fan, I need a sponsor.
Yeah, literally. I think we made it to 5 or 6 rounds this year. There were some other conflicting events, but I wish I could have went to Glen Helen. I lived in Riverside County for a year.
Oh, wow.
But just, it's not possible for fans to make that kind of drive out there.
Yeah.
It would have been cool.
Popped off. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've heard so many good things. I wish I would have went. But.
Yeah, he flew in, and it was like, flew in just for the race and flew right out.
Yeah.
But
was worth it?
It was 100% worth
Yeah.
it. It was awesome. Flew it, like you said, I think I got there Friday morning, and then I left at like 3 a.m. or something ridiculous on Sunday.
yeah.
But out of the tracks you went to this season,
Yeah.
which was your favorite event?
I think Crandon's always a favorite. Like, it's pretty standard. Crandon. Bark River is another one of my favorite tracks. I think that's a good one. I've never been to ERX, though, but I feel like that would probably also be a favorite.
Oh, yeah, you're missing a good one there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Wheatland this year. That one was pretty cool with the over-under stuff going on. Like, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a cool addition this year. I don't know. I can't say anything. Alec knows this, but Bark River's my track, so.
That's your favorite.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all of them. But Glen Helen was definitely, just to see it have that good of a turnaround or turnout.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, this is really cool. But yeah, Crandon's
cool.
always,
Yeah.
you don't miss Crandon.
No, Crandon's Crandon.
And I think like even expanding it to like the marketing space then is like going out to the West Coast all of a sudden, and I've heard this talked about a lot, like we're so Midwest based, and now hopefully if that continues to go forward, we can start broadening out our scope. Which I think is nice.
I'm excited, right? Like you said, and I think I've heard this mentioned from other pro drivers before. A lot of the sponsors are based in California, so having 5 out of 8 rounds in Wisconsin, it's kind of hard to get them out here for one, and for two, it's a very small audience compared to what is out there in Southern California.
Yeah.
Did you, obviously probably contracts were already kind of set up by the time Glen Helen got announced or out there, but did you see an influx in interest from any more West Coast-based companies that wanted to do like a one-off?
Not one-off specifically just because Glen Helen was on the West Coast. It was kind of included in the package together, but actually one of our sponsors and the driver that this is for didn't get to make it out there. He only had a partial season. But they actually sponsor another series that races at that track. So
cool.
Yes, the interest is already out there. They're already involved in West Coast stuff. So for us coming out there isn't a new concept to them, but it's definitely an added value. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Yeah. What track do you think is the toughest to market for?
Lena and Anigo. Lena more so because it's smaller, but it is closer to Green Bay. So that kind of is good. But otherwise, I think Anigo. Just it's about 40 minutes away from Wausau. Not the biggest town. Same with Lena. So kind of those struggles there. But again, and I don't want to like harp too much on the same things that everybody else says. They're all kind of close together. Yeah. So if fans have to pick a track, they're probably going to pick Crandon. You guys live here, so it's the same for us. Bark River's like an hour and a half away. Lena's a half hour away. Crandon's 2 hours away, and Anigo's only an hour and a half away. So everything's pretty close. And if a sponsor, again, it totally depends on their market, but if they want more national coverage, those kind of are the tracks that we'll pass on those.
Yeah.
I think too, it's tough because I think it's always Anago and Crandon fall back to back.
Yeah.
And that's drawing from the same, like Anago to Crandon is not super far.
No.
So it's like drawing the same group, and you're not like people, like you said, are probably going to pick Crandon over Anago just because it's back to back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And looking at the stats too that Champ puts out for attendance and stuff like that, Anago is, I don't want to say significantly lower, but it's quite a few thousand people lower than even Spring Crandon is.
Yeah. Yeah. The stat, did you see the stats for Glen Helen?
Yeah, 17,000.
Yeah.
That was a great number. I was really impressed to see that.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool to see that number come right up right away because ERX, if you look back at the stats, they had a kind of a slow growth issue.
Yep.
So with Wheatland being added, Wheatland is like a really great track that has all kinds of motorsports things all on that same property. But like what they're surrounded by town-wise isn't really by anything like heavily populated.
No, yeah, cornfields.
So that is like, seems to be the biggest thing that we always hear about Wheatland.
Yeah.
Great track, great facility, but just really hard to get people to, even like locals.
I would agree.
Are far away.
Yep.
So.
The small circle track that they have had quite a few sponsors. One of them was actually a hotel that we stayed at. And when we checked in, the gal asked us, what's everybody coming in for?
Yeah. Wow.
And that's kind of disheartening to hear that it's at the track that you sponsor and you didn't know the event was coming up. But yeah, definitely kind of a smaller area.
Yeah. Even when we went to Glen Helen, we were there a day early. So we went to a restaurant that was nearby. Mm-hmm. And it was like the closest area of restaurants. And they had not a clue. And I'm like, man, this is like big news. How I would think every business would be over there. Hey, come eat at our restaurant. Drivers get 10% off or something. Some type of gimmick to get them in.
Marketing is an interesting world.
Yeah. So it's just, I think like if we could, like when you go to Lena and when you go to Anago, like the locals, all the businesses there are completely
they know about it. Yeah.
Crandon cancels school.
Yeah, right. They don't even start school in the fall until after Labor Day weekend because of the race.
Yeah, 6 inches of snow, they don't cancel it.
Yeah.
A race,
restaurant
school late.
Yeah.
We're canceling.
We'll move the schedule around.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always said, after being at Wheatland once, I always think it would be a good idea to combine events because they have the other, like they have the circle track.
Yeah.
They have other things they could do. Like even if you combine that with the off-road racing, like you could do off-road racing during the day, and then I think there was
they kind of
circle
did
track,
a night track, yeah.
but promoting it more together.
I think that'd be a great idea.
I think the truck should race on the off-road track the first day, and then the second day they race on the oval.
I think it'd be interesting to see.
We need a bigger oval, but
yeah, we would need a bigger oval.
Yeah, just an interesting little deal there, but yeah.
So out of being a fan of the sport as well, what is your favorite class to watch?
I would say between Pro 2 and Pro 4. Pro 4s are just interesting. They're loud, they're four-wheel drive, but the Pro 2 class is bigger, so it's more interesting to watch all of the battles going on the track there. So kind of a tie between those two.
Yeah, makes sense.
So this is kind of a legend question-ish, but who do you think, it can be a current person as well, who do you think has a high impact on the racing, the growth of the racing, but doesn't always like get mentioned? Somebody that's kind of always there helping, but doesn't always get the billboard name.
I'm not sure if there's anyone I can think of that doesn't get the billboard name, or if I'm only thinking of these people because they get mentioned a lot. But two I have off the top of my head. So Ryan Beat obviously does a great job. He takes people under his wing that are new, that are wanting to get into the sport, and he helps them, whether it's providing a truck, helping them get set up under his tent, whatever. Another person that I think does a great job in the community, or two people, I guess, Cole Mamer and Keegan Kincaid. I think they're always doing great stuff in the community. I think last year Cole did something at a hospital or some sort of thing. I know he was at a school. Keegan went out and did some stuff with another organization out in Forest County. They're always doing something without having to, hey, sponsor, can I have a check to go do this? Like, they're just doing it to genuinely put more people in front of the sport, and I think that's great.
Yeah, out of the kindness of their heart, or just the pure joy that they still get
Absolutely
from, helping that out. Yeah, I remember Keegan went to a school this year as well, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a school, and they did like walk around of the truck and got to see stuff like that. So that's always cool.
Exactly. I think that's very important too, not just for the growth of the sport, but their own personal branding. It's something that they can be of value to sponsors. It can obviously grow the sport. You can use it as social media content to help with that too. There's so many benefits to going out and being an ambassador in your community.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So 10 years from now, if you look back, and what do you want to say you were able to accomplish in the off-road racing community?
That's a great question, because 10 years ago I was in a completely different situation and I would have never seen myself being here to begin with. I think it'd be really cool to have everybody fully funded. Have this season or the series itself grow 10x. We're going to bigger venues, more drivers are funded, and it's not just a bunch of family and friends being a part of your pit crew, not getting paid, only being able to like eat. Some of them get paid, some of them are volunteer right now. But having everybody, be able to make this a full-time career, just like NASCAR, I think that'd be awesome to have a small part in that.
Yeah, I think that's when we talk to people, even in the racers, I think that's the goal everybody's shooting for. So that'd be cool.
Glad to know we're all in it together.
Yes.
Yeah. There's one thing we can all agree on. Yeah. That's there.
Yeah.
In your eyes, who is the highest skilled competitor that we have in off-road? This one might put you in a
Yeah, well, there's a couple of names I'm thinking of, but like, I think Keegan does a great job. Obviously, Ryan is pretty competitive. Ricky G is pretty good too.
Yeah, Keegan winning the championship this year. That's a big notch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in like every class. Johnny Holcher's pretty good. He's really fast. I think side by side, Greaves and Owen Van Eperen is pretty good too. They're both very fast. Yeah.
Yeah, Owen just completely dominated this year.
Yeah.
Every race, every round.
Yeah. That honestly, like, I know CJ has done a ton in his career, but the dominance that Owen Van Eperen had this season was insane.
He just came out and swept all.
Yeah.
So it seems like a bunch of projects that kind of just recently launched.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of highlight some of those and talk about those?
Yeah, we totally can. So, like you said, there's a lot going on. The very first thing that comes to mind is the free offer that Megan Meyer and I have right now. It is monetizing your social media. So we're all posting already. They're cool race car drivers. You have unlimited content. You've got GoPros. You've got your professional videographers on the track, mom and dad behind the scenes. I get paid to post on social media. Facebook pays me to post on social media just to get engagement. And this is from family posts. I'm talking about a weight loss journey right now, getting better health. They will pay you for that. If you're making cool content that gets views, and it doesn't have to be a lot, you can get paid on social media. So I think that's something that's super important for drivers to understand. And not just from the platform itself, you can use your content and sell it as UGC. You can have brand deals that are just content. So if you are a driver that needs help subsidizing your sponsorship money, need a little bit extra on the side, you can make $1,000 to $5,000 from all of these different ways. So go download that guide. The link's in my bio. And then from that, we have a webinar that will be coming out next week. So that's live. We're running it Wednesday, Thursday, and Monday. And that just goes a little bit more in depth to what the guide goes through. So we're going to talk about some examples of those post ideas. We're going to talk about how to pitch the brands with these ideas. So it's not just, here's all your information, see you later. Yeah. We're going to show you how to really like make it happen. It's not a webinar full of fluff where we're trying to sell you something at the end, which we are, but it's going to be a very transformational webinar. And that's what Megan and I wanted. We didn't want it to be another sales pitch webinar. It's going to be really value packed. It's also free. Again, link is in my bio. So those are the two that I have going on with Megan right now. And at the end of that, we're actually launching something that you'll have to find out by watching the webinar. So again, link in the bio. You'll find out what that is at the end of the webinar next week. And then outside of the collab I have going on with Megan, I've also working with Heidi. She's the founder of Racership. If you've not seen that yet, it's a platform that's going to be launching soon. It's kind of like a resource hub for everything sponsorships. It'll connect you with brands. If brands are interested in sponsorships, they'll let you know. You set up your racer profile. You can have a pitch deck uploaded on there, all of your social media analytics, and they can see everything. If they want to filter, maybe they only want to sponsor off-road or NHRA drivers and drag, they can filter those, look through drivers, and they can actually reach out to you if they're looking for sponsorships. You can apply, you can get a mentor. So I'm going to be a mentor on Racership, do one-on-one consultations to help drivers strategize their sponsorships. But there's going to be all kinds of stuff on there. It's going to be a great platform. If you're not on the wait list yet, go to Racership on Instagram and you can sign up at the wait list on their link in bio.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll put that information in the description as well. So.
Perfect. Yeah. So lots going on. There's always stuff going on. Again, with just being a year in business, there's stuff that comes up almost daily.
Yeah.
And I think that's too for like the casual fan. They don't realize like once the race season's over, you're ready started on next season from, getting sponsorships. The drivers are tearing vehicles apart to rebuild.
Yep.
Like, I think that's a part of the sport that isn't really known by the casual fan is even though you might see us only in summer months.
Yeah.
Everybody else behind the scene is working on it all year.
Yeah. Off season is not a break. I feel like sometimes it gets busier during the off season just because you have so much going on, which the season is busy. You're traveling, you're getting to the tracks, you're trying to figure everything out. Sometimes you have to do damage control to your vehicle and figure stuff out afterwards, but the off season it's just as busy.
Yeah, and right now it's SEMA and PRI season as well. So you gotta have all your paperwork ready for that. Try to meet up with some people along the way there. You were at PRI last year, right?
Yeah, so last year was my first year at PRI. For anybody else that's never been before, it is very, very overwhelming. You see all the people at Crandon, and it's a convention, right? Like it's every other convention. There's people there to do business deals, to sell things, to buy things, to learn about new products in the racing industry. But it's where a lot of drivers do deals. And I went in my first year, obviously, knowing not much. But I knew I needed a plan to make it worth my time and effort. I talked to several drivers who it didn't seem like it was worth it to them. Like they didn't get a deal out of it, whatever. I'm a strategist by heart. That's just what I do. If there's something wrong or we're not getting a result we want, I'm going to figure out the bottom of it and make it effective. So what I did was I went on LinkedIn, actually. I recommend drivers get on LinkedIn. If you're not, that is where every CEO, founder, marketing officer, VP of marketing, they're all on LinkedIn. Like if you can't get through an email, get on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn met all these people that were going to PRI, said, hey, let's meet up. So at their booth, they knew exactly when to expect me. And there wasn't a group of people around, which there are always groups of people around. That's, there's people there. But they knew. And so we got to shake hands or hug people I've never seen in my entire life before with brands that I've never even heard of. And we walked away with quite a few deals where other drivers, again, I don't know if it's worth going. You're probably just wasting your time. I promise you I did not waste my time.
Yeah, I've been to SEMA a handful of years. So if this is your first year going to SEMA,
yes,
you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. There's so many people I've got to meet there.
If you think PRI was overwhelming,
I know. I think SEMA's twice the size, I've heard.
Yeah, I hope you're going for all the days because you're gonna need it.
I think I'm going. I'll fly in Tuesday, but I'll be there Wednesday through Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
that would be good.
Days. Yeah.
You've been?
Yes, I twice now, right?
Yeah,
it's
you
twice.
we went twice. Yeah.
So you're going this year? You're not.
I am
this
not.
year?
Yeah.
Right
So,
on.
It's a good time.
See you there, maybe.
Yeah. I'm probably.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's great. The first year I was there, he's like, oh, you'll do a lot of walking. Whatever. And then I'm every single day I was 15, 20 miles.
Yeah.
I was holy crap, it is a lot of walking.
Yeah, wear comfortable shoes.
And it's not that for one day. It's that for 4 days.
Every single day. Yeah. I talked to somebody today. She's like, is it overwhelming? And I'm like, yeah. You at the end of the week, you're just completely checked out from talking all day long. Every single day you're there, walking so much, taking in information about all the different products that you've learned about. And it's a lot.
Yeah. And PRI's floor plan compared to SEMA's is a tenth, I would say.
Okay. So. All right. Awesome. Cool. I'm excited though.
But it's broken down into sections. So if you're going to SEMA, just look at the map ahead of time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And wherever the bus drops you off, don't just walk in the door. Go to the place that you want to go to and
so
get that taken care of. Because if you just walk in the first door you see, you're just gonna get lost, and then you're gonna be like, wait, it's already noon and we haven't even gotten.
I haven't talked to anybody yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I've looked at a bunch of cool stuff, but it wasn't what I needed to look at.
Right.
If you need to know anything about tires, there's about 500 tire companies.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great place. So, all right, where were we at? So back in your startup days, what was your reach like when you were all right? Let's do this kind of deal. What was your reach for the stars mind thought process?
Yeah, that's actually funny. So July last year, we went to the Brickyard with my dad. We drove down to Indianapolis. He took us out there. And that's when I sat down and told him, I was like, I think I'm going to start trying to work with these off-road guys. Like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. I know marketing, but I don't know motorsports like at all. And I don't know where this is going to go. But maybe next year, because we're here at NASCAR, I'll get to work with some NASCAR guys eventually in my future. Well, a month later. Again, I could have never seen it, but I appreciate that driver so much for letting, and he knew I was new, but yeah, he's given me a lot of grace over the last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can we say the driver's name?
Yeah, CJ McLaughlin. He's with DGM Racing.
Okay, I seen a picture posted, but I didn't want to say something.
Yeah. No, he's cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's
Where's
cool.
he from? Is he?
Massachusetts.
Okay, I thought he was like Midwest local-ish.
No. The first time we met, he found me on Instagram, as everybody else has too. But the first time we met was actually at the race I was managing a sponsor for in Charlotte. So that was the literal first time we ever met before.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Awesome.
So social media has a key role in the exposure for, both the driver and their partnerships. What do you think are some key markers of posting, like that you should do just to get the content to be engaging and informative? Like, what are things that someone should look for when they're posting?
Consistency, I would say, is the first thing you should do. Like, if you're going to post it all and you decide you want to go all in on social media because you realize it's helpful, consistency. Quality over quantity. Just making sure, even if it's an iPhone video, which is totally fine, that you wipe your lens off before you start recording so there's not a whole bunch of weird stuff going on in the video, that it's in focus. Those are pretty simple things to do. And then I think the third thing would just be branding. So consistent branding. If you're a family person, continue talking about that. Don't just happy birthday to my kid and happy anniversary once a year. Like, keep at it. Like, bring your fans into your life. Let them see the behind the scenes. If I saw your stuff from when you went to Glen Helen with KGB. So keep doing that kind of stuff. I would recommend. Cole Mamer's a great person. He's always giving updates on his story. Trey Gibbs, he's another great one. Always talking about what's going on. Hey, we're here today. Hey, we're at the gas station, or we're at the airport. So figuring out what you want to post and who your brand identity is going to be, and then just running with it. If you're a fitness influencer, or not an influencer yet, but if you're into fitness, a lot of drivers have to work out. That's how they stay conditioned in the off season. Post about it. I want to know what supplements you're taking. You're not the only person in the world working out, and you're not the only person in off-road working out. What motivate other people,
Yeah.
That's on the flip side of that. What are some things you would recommend avoiding?
Aside from the dirty lens and
Yeah.
I mean, you named some there already, but
Trash talking on social media. I know we all get emotional, like tensions get high when stuff on the track happens, but say what you need to say behind closed doors, because whether you want to believe it or not, your sponsors, your potential sponsors that you're not even working with yet, that are watching you, they're watching everything you post. Yeah. You reach out to a brand, they're going to check your social media. Oh, look, or a screenshot. Those last forever. Yeah. So-and-so wanted to get a brand deal. Well, somebody that doesn't like you took a screenshot of the comments you made, and now they're sending them to the brand. And just keep all of your content clean, keep it professional. Like, we can still be entertaining and fun while still maintaining professionalism.
Absolutely.
Yeah, makes sense.
You kind of already mentioned it. Who's on a short list of high-performing teams, drivers, content creators. But I guess I'll mix up the question here. You also follow like automotive content people?
Yeah, some, yeah.
Yeah. So like, which one of those, like Alex Taylor or something, I think I've seen you involved with or liking their.
I like all of their stuff. There's so many automotive creators, but that's a great example of what you should post. Create content of what you like to watch yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you like watching builds, record yours. Like, if you're putting your pro spec together in the off season and you're working on it once or twice a week, go film that.
Yeah.
All of them. Anybody over 100,000 followers that's consistently posting, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show your face. Yeah.
Awesome.
So What can like a driver do? And I know you're talking about consistency, but like how does a driver make it more fluid or like the process just easier for them so they're more successful?
Yeah, and social media can definitely get overwhelming with trying to plan out content and record the content and edit it and keep up with trends.
Or even picking what social media to be on. There's so many now.
Yeah, I would focus on your top 3. So if you've got a social media already, which 3 are performing the best for you? If you have a hard time choosing, just go with Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You could reuse the TikTok videos on Instagram and the Instagram videos on Facebook, but you can't post like captions on TikTok only. You could post them on Facebook, and they do perfectly well. So picking what works for you, what kind of content you like to do. If you like doing long form vlogs, get on YouTube. Like there's still tons of people on YouTube. People go to YouTube as a search engine platform instead of Google when they're looking for build information. Great. You're building your prospect, like I just said, put it on YouTube. And then pillars. Content pillars is another important thing to help you stay consistent with your branding. So again, you're not posting fitness one day and a family the other day and a build another day and a whole bunch of stuff to make it look confusing to your audience. Pick 3 to 5 pillars of who you are as a person, who you want to be known for, what you want to be known for, and then go with that. Are you a community ambassador? Are you, again, a fitness influencer, just to keep it simple? Do you have a lot of knowledge about a certain type of product? And then, again, writing those pillars down and just making content based off of that. Amanda Van Den Elsen did a training earlier this year for ChatGPT. Use the AIs. It is so easy to type in a prompt and use the AIs. There's nothing wrong with it. Make sure it sounds like yourself. Don't just copy paste it. Make sure you remove the quotation marks and the hyphens, but you use your resources, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that helps the social media platform even kind of get that algorithm locked in.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, we have AI that's deciding what category you're falling into.
Yeah.
So if you do too many things, it's just going to be like, well, I don't know where you belong, so I'm not going to suggest you to anybody.
Right, exactly. If you keep posting mine's kind of all over the place right now sometimes too, where I post a lot of off-road, but then I'll post NASCAR, but then I'll post my kid. And there's a lot going on, or I'll post whatever. But ChatGPT can help you come up with the pillars too. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do on a daily basis. Say, can you create 3 to 5 pillars for me? Have it create a month worth of content, and it's literally that easy.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so in the motorsports world, kind of as a whole, NASCAR, drag racing, off-road has been mainly a kind of a male-driven sport.
Yeah.
But we've been seeing a lot of growth in females and top performing females as well, championship ones. Gray Ledbetter comes to mind.
Yep.
Avery Hemmer in our sport. Yep. For marketing wise, does that kind of drag more companies in that weren't interested in off-road before?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And not even just off-road. We saw, I believe it was, I don't remember if it was WEC or F1, but Olay is a skincare company for women, if you weren't familiar. But they just stepped in too. That's a huge deal. They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. So to see them step in, Elf Cosmetics, again, it's a cosmetic company for women, stepped in with Catherine Legg earlier this year in NASCAR. So that's huge. Yeah, absolutely. I love what Gray is doing. Avery Hemmer, she's such a cool kid. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I just think that's interesting that it's opening up more opportunity for them and even for the series and for other drivers or competitors. Such.
Oh yeah, women are starting to take over.
Yeah,
it's really cool to see even now the growth in the kids class.
You're
seeing more females coming up through the ranks of the kids class. I think it's really good for the sport, and it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of them do really great with branding too. Donuts with Eleanor, the cutest thing ever. Her mom does such a good job.
Yeah, I've sent them messages just saying, keep on doing it.
Yeah.
You guys are doing a great job.
They are.
Quality, good content.
Yeah, especially for a youth team. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for off-track success, what would you say is the recipe for the race teams to be successful, not only on the track, but off as well?
A positive attitude. Are you talking just sponsorships and marketing for funding?
Either way, you can take it that way if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So the journey never stops. There is no, once we get to off season, then we'll start getting sponsors for next year. It is a constant grind. And Megan and I talked about this on one of her podcasts too, or her Fueled and Funded program, was once you decide to take your race program seriously, like a Ryan Beat, once I set this as my goal, take it seriously and keep taking it seriously and never let your foot off the gas. Like, momentum is so important. And as race car drivers, like, they know this, not just on the track, but off the track. If you take your foot off the gas, you are going to slow down. And then once you slow down, you kind of keep with that pace that you've been going. And it gets harder to step on the gas again, and it takes a little bit longer to go. So always keep your foot on the gas. Never stop, especially with sponsorships. Like, the second you stop following up, you're letting all of your leads fall off. Keep nurturing them. Keep grinding it out. You never know when your time is going to come.
Yeah. So we were talking about Donuts with Eleanor, and you have a kid as well.
Yep.
So with today's current classes, and this might be you might be thinking about this because I don't know how old your daughter is, but what do you think the best route is for a kid to go from their entry level to try to build that kid to be a successful Pro 2 or Pro 4 driver?
Yeah, if I knew a little bit more technical information about racing, I feel like I'd have a better plan for this. But just as I've observed over the last couple of years, it seems like 170, 200 is a good starting place, and then usually moving up to usually it's a mod kart or a short course kart. And then I've seen them go into stock trucks or super stock. I've seen them go straight into a pro spec. So, starting at a youth class would probably be the best idea. But yeah, and I've talked to her about it before. She loves the Donuts with Eleanor stuff. Yeah. We go see him at the parades and everything and talk to him and say hi. But she's never been interested before. No, maybe when I'm 5, and then she turns 5. Maybe when I'm 6, I'll do it when I'm 6. Well, she's 6 now. Yeah. No, maybe when I'm like 15, but you have to do it with me.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Like, okay.
That just suddenly became way more expensive.
Yeah, right. No.
Yeah. Awesome.
So what is your most memorable moment so far from like in the marketing space with a racer?
Probably NASCAR, only because I really didn't think it was going to happen, especially as soon as it happened. But like getting to go to the track and be on the infield and not in the grandstands, and being able to go to the pits in the garage and walk in the hauler is like next to a dream, right? That's it.
That's awesome.
You're like, I made it moment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to NASCAR Tech, and that was right in Mooresville there, so we were always right around all the teams and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool to see the comings and goings and
and you just like have to dream that one day off-road's going to get there, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're not dreaming, we're doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think that's like we were just talking about last night with Mikey when we had him on the show too. Just like, I think that's been the conversation for a while, but I think there's a good movement of good people now, and there has been for a while. Hopefully we can keep pushing it forward.
Yeah, it has been around for a very long time, but I think just, one thing after another, and a pandemic and a change of hands for ownership, and the passion's always there.
Yeah.
The off-road communities, we're not going anywhere.
No,
but
we're not.
Yeah, all we can do is hope and keep working hard.
Absolutely. Well, this was really, really educational. Really, I hope some drivers take a lot of tips and tricks from this, and maybe reach out to you and get involved with having somebody take care of some sponsorship aid and all that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Jump on the app and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention or cover?
I feel like I should say something important here, but I don't know. Keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. Perform on the track. Work just as hard off the track. Stay positive. Don't give up. I don't know.
Awesome.
Like all the cliche stuff. But yeah, like everybody's doing a great job. They are.
And then for socials, is it all Trackside, or how do they find you?
Yeah, so my personal stuff is at It's Michaela C, or you can go to Trackside Agency, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok.
Awesome.
Or everywhere.
Awesome. Well, this has been a great episode and very knowledgeable, giving us some of that knowledge. And I'll see you at SEMA next, I think.
Yeah, see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.